Hi, my name is Olajide Olagunju, and I'm the author of the book, How to Resolve a Conflict, and I'd like to share it with you on the screen. Here you are, How to Resolve a Conflict, and this book is the textbook for the lecture series you just joined. The title of the lecture series is also How to Resolve a Conflict, and this is How to Resolve a Conflict, lecture 35. We read and then we have a discussion as we go along. Um, so we read from the book and then we have our discussion. Now, we are dealing with the 10-step mediation, and we are in step 5 now. Don't forget, in step 4, we discussed what I consider the most important work of the mediator, which is to understand what needs are not being met, because it is because the needs are not being met, it's because of unmet needs that we have the conflict in the first place. So now in step 4, we've been able to understand what the unmet needs are. So what do? We go on to step 5, which is where we set out the questions. Let me read and then we'll discuss. Step 5, setting out issues. Here the mediator asks how the needs can be met. It follows that there will be as many questions or issues as there are needs. Each question deals with a specific need. For example, in a communal conflict, suppose one of the needs of a party is security for life and property. The relevant question or issue would be, how can security for life and property be put in place? So, pretty straightforward. All you do in step 5 is ask questions. We've identified in step 5, in step 4, forgive me, we've identified in step 4 what the unmet needs behind the conflict, what they are. In step 5, we ask how each of them can be met, how each of the unmet needs can be met. And I wouldn't write all the questions on one page or one piece of paper or on one document. I write each question in a different sheet of paper or a different page or different document. That means that we don't muddle up issues and questions. So we must have clarity, we must create clarity. So if there are 10 unmet needs, there should be 10 questions on different papers or different pages. So that we don't forget to deal with each of the issues, to answer each of the questions. Because if we fail to, we have an inconclusive conflict resolution, which we want to avoid. So, as I said, in step 5, all you do is write out the question, a question relating to an unmet need. The question will be, how do we provide for this need? You name the need that's not being met. That is all you do in step 5. Then we go on to step 6. In step 6, let me read first and then I try to explain. Step 6 is brainstorming. In this step, the mediator helps each disputant to bring out various options or answers to an issue or question raised in the preceding step. There may be many options, approaches, or answers to one issue or question, as many options as are possible are generated to ensure that the party has the opportunity of choosing the best options. Very important, and we must understand what we do in brainstorming is take the questions one by one. So if there are 10 questions, we need, technically or theoretically, we need 10 brainstormers. We brainstorm on the question, on each question, one by one. Now, it is not the mediator that is talking here. All that the mediator does is ask the question. This unmet needs that you have identified earlier on, how would it be met? How can it be met? And then the parties think out options for answering those questions, which are options for meeting the needs. So one question may have X number of suggestions, options for answering it. And what the mediator does at this point is simply to write down their options, the answer they are giving her or giving him. You just write and listen, encourage them to bring out as many as possible. So you are not making suggestions, you are only helping them to make their suggestions, to note, to say their options towards meeting each question. So, although we have one question for one unmet need, that is asking the parties, how will this need be met? Although there's one question, the options, the answers, or proposed answer rather, could be as many as the parties can think of. And that's why at this point, the mediator has to learn to keep quiet. Except as situation and points in the discussion, in their answer the answers, or the answer where he needs to clarify and help them understand the question. And so we just write the options. We just write the options. And that's all we do. That's all we do. We have to be very careful not to stop the parties when they are talking. Because if you stop them, they may be derailed. They may forget. So you have to learn to just keep as quiet as possible. They know you have to be quiet. They know they have to talk. And so you should let it be that. I think we can stop here for now. We'll continue the next step 7, in the next lecture. That will be lecture 36. Once again, I thank you for joining me, and I invite you to write your comments. I invite you to also make an effort to get a copy of the book from Amazon. Thank you, and see you in the next lecture.